Hello, Jefferson families. We are excited to bring to you our live event around standard-based grading.
Hello. So we are the team that we're going to be piloting standard-based grading. So we'll kind of give a brief explanation and then we can answer questions if you have any. Do you want to start? No. Okay. So standard-based grading is a little different than traditional grading because we assess based on the standards. Like in kindergarten, how students were assessed based on their skill. So instead of getting one grade for the class, they got a lot of different other grades. And they were evaluated from a 1 to a 4, with 4 being mastered and 1 being need improvement. So instead of having it be, okay, you have an A for math, you're going to have a lot of different other grades for each standard. So if I have right now, I have 3 standards in my grade book, so the kids will have 3 different grades for each of those standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Okay. And one of the things that's gonna look a little different is that I know for myself that for the grades, your child may not have a math grade until progress report, and that is because I will be the different assignments are the important grades that you should look at, and then right when progress report comes up, I'll put a grade in, but that grade is only an average of their work towards the like from the start of the year till now, and that grade won't tell you specifically how your student's doing. What tells you specifically how they're doing in class is going to be the separate grades from each of the standards on the grade report. So it's really important that you don't just look at their final grade, but you go into the progress, like you go into the grade book and you look at the individual grades themselves.
And I think that's the key. You have to go in. You can't just say, oh, there's no grades in here. When I know, for myself, I have it put in, but you need to look at each individual grade and see for myself, oh, nouns and pronouns. Oh, you know, my child got a 4, that's great. Or my child got a 1, oh gosh, they need to work. So make sure that you are, delving into PowerSchool.
Yeah, and we do that because if your student, if your child is doing really good on like decimals and fractions, but then they're really stuck on one particular standard, you can see, oh, they have a 1 out of 4 in that, so that's a standard that I need to work on, and that child can then keep working at that standard until the end of the quarter. So it's not a final grade for any of the standards, and they can keep working on it and keep going, and just keep practicing and redo the quizzes, redo the tests, and then they can get their grade up.
We also have on the skills, when they've scored less than a 4 or a 3, I will always put comments on what they need to improve on specifically, especially in subjects such as writing. In reading, when we have a quiz or something and they scored extremely low, it may be you need to practice this, and this. A lot of it is that everything we do, they need to practice. I mean, the more practice they get, the better they're going to get and for understanding.
Yeah, and I know for myself, I will still put practice in the grade book, but the quizzes and the tests and the projects are going to be what determines the grade, because I don't want to I don't want to have anything in their grade book count towards their final grade if it's practice, because I don't think that's fair. I want to give the child the practice. I want them to be able to struggle, be able to work through that struggle, and not have that be determined their final grade.
And keep in mind, just keep practicing and redo. And, if there's a 2 out of 4 on a quiz, your child can absolutely retake that quiz after some more practice. So, just because a grade might be in PowerSchool doesn't mean it's a final grade for those of us that are doing standard-based grading.
And I know for myself, like for my master's classes, I've researched this. I really believe in it. However, I feel like I know a lot. So for me, I understand the whole process, but I really want parents' feedback for you guys to say, I don't understand this, I don't understand this, my child's not getting this, so then I can communicate and be able to figure out maybe some of the hiccups of this process with parents and students. So really any feedback, good or bad, I will take, and I really want to be able to, I think all of us.
All of us want feedback because this is a pilot project. I have never done standard-based grading, but after reading about it, I truly believe in it. Looking at my granddaughter's report card from kindergarten, we knew exactly what we needed to work with. So that's what we're trying to get at. But no, I think we all would welcome. In fact, I know we all would welcome feedback and questions. And we're going to have to work through it together.
Yep.
We're a team.
So if you have any questions, just go ahead and submit them, please.
Yep, you can email. Do you see any questions on the live chat? No? Well, are we good to wrap up?
We'll wait.
Okay, we'll wait. That's fine. You can keep, let me think about anything else.
How do we know which classes are using the standard-based grading? So can you go back over what classes you're teaching?
All right, so I am 7th grade, the ELA block, as is Mrs. Bridge. So 7th grade that have Mrs. Nahazel or Mrs. Bridge are using standard-based grading.
I'm Miss Davidson. I have half of the 7th graders. I'll be using standard-based grading, and I also know that me and Mrs. Chout do a lot of things together. So she's not fully implementing standard-based, but she is still doing a lot of the same things of having the grade be more with the quizzes and the tests, have a higher percentage for that.
And in 6th grade, Mrs. Saavedra, who has half of the math students, is implementing this. And I think 8th grade, nope, okay, so that's it.
Yep.
Can you all share, based on what we've currently done, what you really, really like about standard-based grading and maybe some things that you have some wonders about?
I like standardized grading because when the students see that the more they practice, the better they get. And when they see a grade, that they may say, well, I don't know what I messed up on. I don't know, why did I get this? And in standardized grading, you can see specifically the area that needs to be improved. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah, and clear communication is really nice. I've looked at the research behind the, for middle schoolers, the young adolescent age, why standard-based grading is perfect for them, and it's because they go through these stages where there's up and downs in their life, they're trying to deal with a lot in middle school, and so having a grading system that allows for flexibility for them, allows them to go through and say that you're not always perfect, and that's okay, and you can keep working at it, and you can keep going. Just that mentality of working hard and being conscious of what you're doing in school will help you improve. So that's one of the things I think is the best thing about standard based, is just the flexibility of it.
Well said.
So we had a parent that came on a little late and was wondering if you could just kind of review the differences between standard-based grading and traditional grading once more.
In simplest terms, standard-based grading is more focused. So whereas last year I had a rubric that covered, maybe it was informative writing, and so the rubric covered that, and spelling, and grammar, and so it was an overall grade for multiple standards. Now, each standard's going to be separate. So there will be a grade for, did they get the informative process? There will be a grade for, is the grammar correct? So each standard is broken up and you can see it more clearly than for like myself, just putting it on a rubric.
Well, and like if I have a, like on Friday, I'll have the kids do a review quiz, but I'll use that for evidence for each, so that quiz will go over 5 standards. So instead of giving 1 grade, I'll give 5 different grades for each of that standards as another evidence tool of did the kid understand the standard.
So we have a new participant. Can you go ahead and tell our families and our guests who you are, what you teach, and just give them your understanding of how you're doing standard-based grading and anything else you want your families to know?
I'm Mrs. Saavedra. I teach 6th grade math, and I also teach 6th grade honors pre-algebra. For me, standards-based grading is a really important tool for us to use to show how our kids can master the standards instead of just doing tasks. We want to see if we can get them to what they need to know in 6th grade and above. The key is everybody learns at a different pace, and if we just keep moving on without the ability to go back and reteach and redo things, then we're not really doing a good job of teaching them, because we want them to master the standards, not just plow through them. So that's what's really important for me.
Are there anything else that you would like to share with our families?
Now, if you ever have any concerns or questions, either have your child or yourself are perfectly welcome to email us. That's what we're here for, and for the success of your child.
For me, I think one of the biggest components that I want to stress with parents is this is new for us as well as you, and communication is going to be the key. Our goal is for your child to be successful, and there may be bumps in the road, but just talk to us and we'll talk to you. We want kids to achieve, and that's our bottom line, and that's why we're doing this.
We'd like to thank our families for joining us today. Please know that if you have any questions about standard-based grading, you can email any of the teachers here. We are here to help and support. Thank you and have a great day.